I'd like to call the meeting of the planning commission on Wednesday, December 6th, 2020 to order. If you could all please rise for the pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Any of our guests are planning on speaking before council to the planning commission tonight? I'm going to swear you in, so could you please rise and raise your right hand if you plan to speak? Okay.
Speak louder.
Pardon me?
Can you speak louder?
I'll try.
Thank you.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
Okay. I said that if any of you are planning on speaking tonight, I would need to swear you in. So if you are planning on speaking tonight, please stand and raise your right hand. If you're not planning on speaking, that's fine. I just needed to know.
Does that include questions?
Probably not. It's more of a testimony. Okay? Okay. Could we take roll call, please? Could we take roll call, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Ron Mulrick, absent. Sherry Sanchez, absent. William Bust.
Here.
Mr. Nguyen,
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here. Okay, so we have a quorum, and we'll go with that. Any communications from the public?
There are no communications from the public at this time.
Okay, and we have minutes from our previous meeting, which was in October.
I'll move that we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. We have some guests and some new business.
Yeah, so the new business for this month, we received a request from the property owner for rezoning of a C3 commercial property, requesting it be rezoned to residential attached 16. So before us today, we have the property owner and his team, so I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Okay, please.
Yes, my name is Rich Costin. I'm representing Lemon Acquisitions tonight. Is it on?
Can they speak on, it's muffled. Is it on?
That's on.
Can you speak louder?
My name is Rich Costin. I'm representing Lemon Acquisitions tonight. We are the property owner. Tonight, I also have John Wall from GBC Design. He's with our engineering firm. And Nate Gehring, he's with Ryan Homes. He's representing the builder. We're going to get started.
I think we have any purpose.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Tonight we are asking for a zoning map amendment, C3 to an RA16. We are seeking this change for the ability to create fee-simple residential lots with public streets to build owner-occupied townhomes. Here on this is just where we're at. Just want to make sure everybody knows this is Austin Drive and this is the portion we're talking about.
So Giant Eagle is up top.
Okay. I forget what was the one here in the
Rookdale.
Brookdale is over there. Residential homes over here. We've had some city comments on that, and so we have revised our site plan. And, oh, there we go. Okay, I'm working now. So we are still working to finalize plans with the city site plan, but this is what our current site plan looks like. So, again, what we're proposing is, townhomes, and so you can see there's 3 and 4 unit, homes in there. We feel this residential project, fills a need in the marketplace. We feel we are meeting all the criteria of the zoning amendment, including being complementary, with the adjacent properties. Again, stepping down from the commercial, John Hill to the north, the Brookdale, to that residential / commercial, and then to the residential to the east. We intend to leave the natural buffer that is out there on the east side, so I think that's important. Point that out. All those existing trees, we plan on leaving that, not touching. Again, the townhome buildings will be 3 and 4 unit buildings. They will be fee simple and owner occupied, not rentals.
I just asked you quick, what does fee simple mean? It's a term.
Fee simple means that you own the lot, so you own your lot, you own the home that is on it. And I keep pointing that out because it might be a little confusing here because these are townhomes, and so they are 3 and 4 unit buildings. But the owner will own the land that's underneath it and the building. And it helps out with, financing and so forth, so. Okay. All right. What I kind of wanted to turn over was I was going to turn it over to Nate from Ryan Homes and kind of let him describe the product a little bit more, and then it'll come back to me and we'll go from there. So, Nate, you want me just to move this, put this one page? Leave it?
Yeah, you can flip it. You got- Oh, yeah. It looks like currently there are 13 units there as opposed to, I think I saw 14 in some of the paperwork.
13 buildings, 30, 39.
39 units.
Yeah, currently there's 13 buildings with 39 units. It might get tweaked a little bit, but this is what the intent is.
And I assume that's a retention pond up in the
Yes,
upper.
this would be a protection pond up here. Depending on how the design all that goes, we probably put some amenity up there, maybe like a little gazebo type thing. Overlooking it, maybe a trail around it. Until we get a little bit further with design, we'll figure that out.
Okay.
We have a single entrance to Austin Drive. And it moves back in, for traffic flow throughout. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of tough with everybody being so far away. I did also bring some presentation boards that show pictures, so you guys can get a little closer look at the product, and also one of our model homes that is actually, it's a little ways from here, but it's up in, I believe it's Concord Township, up on the east side, up near the lake, close to PA almost, but I've got some interior pictures from there also, showing the basic living space of it. To add to what Rich stated, 39 units that we're looking to do with that floor plan. We're looking to offer a single product, which Ryan calls a Juniper. The structure or the living area is 1,307 square feet. It's a single car garage. When it comes around, or I can talk afterward with pictures, there's also 160 square foot unfinished area, like a basement. Most of the living is it's a 3-story, so it's on the middle floor, and then the bedrooms and baths are upstairs. Single car garage. This is I don't know if you guys are familiar with some of our newer project in the area, but we're building in East New Haven, which is also in Barberton. We call it a Simply Ryan product, and it includes landscaping. Big difference with these, it's kind of nice, it's a full package. I don't know how many people bought new houses in the last 10, 20 years, but in this area, it's not really standard to come with refrigerators, washers and dryers, landscaping, that's usually all separate. With this product, everything is included, so it's all packaged together in with the mortgage. A lot of people ask me about what the starting price will be. We're a little early. We know our cost for the housing, but there's still some engineering going to figure out what the lot price is. Our goal is to start in the upper 160s or low 170s. That's what we're going to be targeting. I'm quite confident that's where we'll be, just depending on the actual development cost of the project. Again, there's a lot of people have questions about fee simple. This is not a condo. So there's a lot of questions about that often, what's the difference? Just picture this being a single family unit. You own your lot, you have a lot. There will also be a homeowner association. The way the homeowner association works on townhomes is we do make sure that it includes all of your, basic limited landscaping. So, they will take care of the grass cutting, fertilization, stuff like that. That keeps, given the size of the units and the landscaping, you want to make sure it's nice and consistent throughout the community. Another question people also ask about HOAs with townhomes for us is with deed restrictions and what can people do and what can they not do. Obviously, you want to keep it a consistent look in the community, so there will be deed restrictions built into the actual HOA declaration. We usually don't allow fences. We will typically allow, I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but some shielding, you allow a fence maybe to go back 12, 14 feet to create some privacy buffer for people. We do allow decks, patios, and items like that, but no other accessory buildings, obviously like sheds, just because of the density. And yeah, real thing, if you guys look at all the pictures, and I'd be happy to stick around after the meeting too to answer any questions people have about the product.
Maybe it should be obvious to me, but you said that the homeowner would own the land under the condo. What about all the adjacent land, that goes around it?
They will actually have a lot. Not just the land, typically a condo, there's different types of condos. Condos, you normally do not own the property underneath you, you own from the drywall in. It gets very complex, from a legal standpoint with financing and all that. This is a very simple product. So yeah, people will actually have a lot.
I mean, again, there's a simple lot, so you can see each house is sitting on a lot. The only open space or common space is gonna be up here where the detention basin is. So it should be something similar to a single family home subdivision where, everybody owns their lot. The only common space would be where the entrance amenity is or where the detention basin is.
Well, but now each building is 3 units, so I mean, where does if the guy on the end, the last third of the unit, does he have all the way along the one side of his out to the street and to?
Just bring some a little closer, you can see the lot lines?
Oh, okay, no, I didn't see
Yeah, that's maybe a little distance.
Okay,
So you can see the lot lines?
okay, so that's,
So there is no common space.
So there's three units in one building.
That is correct. Yeah, you can see the lot lines. So it's basically like a single family home, but they're just touching each other.
Three
okay.
units in one building.
I thought, I heard he only owned what was underneath the building, so. I didn't
No, I'm
know.
sorry if
Okay.
I misspoke.
Okay. That makes sense, thank you. And these are all slab homes, right? No basement?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, the main floor, I should say, the first floor will consist of a one-car garage and entrance, and then there's a, 160, 170 square feet behind there that'll just be like a storage area. It could be finished at a later time by a owner to turn into a room, but we provide it as, storage.
And you're only looking at the 3-story, not the 2-story design?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2-story design that we have does not have a garage. We want to, I think, people in this market definitely demand a garage of some sort.
Because of the smell.
Yes, yeah, today's a good reason why.
And there would be, are these, as far as the width of the streets, are these going to be wide enough streets that they would allow on-street parking or anything like that? I know the villas which are next door technically do not allow on-street parking.
John, do you want to do? Oh, it's
The
John.
streets will be 27 foot wide.
Okay,
It's really the same width of street that you see out at East New Haven.
okay.
So it will allow parking on one side.
Again, they are public streets, so we're following, city guidelines for width and, fire hydrants, stuff like that. They will also have street lighting and public walks. Again, I believe that's all requirements by the city.
And we have shared this with other city departments. We just got a preliminary site plan, I believe, last Thursday. We got one prior to that, and there were some comments that were provided by the service director, I think the fire department as well. But yeah, I guess what's before us tonight, we will take a more in-depth review, make sure everything's in compliance with the development code of the actual site plan in the future. The rezoning request is the item that I guess we're in review of tonight. So whether or not it makes sense to rezone it from commercial C3 to RA 16.
And was that that's not in the package that we have, is it, that plot plan?
No, this is the presentation.
And again, this is, as Trevor was saying, this is about the rezoning, and we do have to come back to the city planning commission, and they will review
Okay.
other things in detail. We felt it was important to show you guys what we were trying to do instead of just coming, hey, we want to create all these lots, if you didn't understand what the end game was, and that's why we kind of took it a little step further, again, with, Nate showing what, he's looking to build and what it was gonna be, and answer questions about that. We thought it connected the whole project, be easier to understand.
So, Mr. Gary, you said that the model home of this is kind of far away. Are there any other properties nearby that look like this that we could see the outsides of in the neighborhood?
Not exactly. What I do, the project actually in Barberton now, East New Haven, is the sister or brother project to this. Is just standard single family homes. I would say the elevations, comparing it to the rendering that I have, they will be similar to that. Same construction quality, same build detail, everything is mimics those houses. These are just attached. We do have other townhome projects around Akron that are similar, but not, unfortunately in this area, they almost got a hybrid, the two of them together. We do have a townhouse project that is just completed now called Hickory, which is right at Memorial Parkway in Hickory, right down in the valley there, right in Akron, not far from Merriman Road.
You said it's just starting now?
That's actually just completing. It's already, that was a combination of, I think how many, 40 ranches and I think 38 to 40. Yeah, basically 40 of each. Those are completed, or they're finishing up the last building now, kind of gives you a flavor of it. Those are a little bit larger. Those have a 2-car garage. And those have a little bit different elevations on them. But that'll give you an idea of a 3-story, kind of the feel of it. And then the actual look, we'll call it the elevation, the look of it from the outside with the siding and the trim, that'll mimic more what's in Barberton now in New Haven.
And you say you are involved in the New Haven as far as building the homes?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Can't get lots down fast enough. It's been,
So you're working with Jim Little on that?
Yeah.
So the homes in the Hickory development are townhouses are selling well, not selling well?
Oh, they were sold out, both projects. We opened the single families first, which were 40, and I think those sold out in 2 months. And then the townhouses were roughly 40, I think those were about 3 months.
Then do we have this one or?
Yeah, unless you're in charge of getting the lots on the ground, then it's a little tougher.
So I must have missed it when the pictures went by, but these are only 1-car projects?
Correct.
Yeah, that's just.
Thank you. I have a question, because I can't seem to, maybe you've said this and I didn't hear it completely, but that you have 3 homes in one building. What is the backyard? Because you did mention about a deck or a patio. What would be the square foot of, if I wanted to buy one of these, I wanted to put a deck, what is the backyard? Do you know, how far does that
They
go?
vary, but they're pretty decently deep, I believe.
You see, those are the lot lines. So this center unit, that's the entire lot. I think
So,
that's answering part of your question.
so they're coming off of the street. What's the frontage of the house, of the townhouses in front of the street? Are they 50 foot, 75 foot?
The setback?
Yes, okay.
They're 20 or 25 foot setback from the right of way.
They're 20 foot.
20 foot from Austin Drive.
Well, that's from the right
Oh,
of
from
way.
the sidewalk, okay.
So, yeah.
Back to sidewalk.
And then the back of it could be,
The units themselves are 20 feet wide by 29 feet tall.
No, it is enough.
So the lots will be 20-foot wide. The lot lines go right down through the common, like the common wall between the two units,
so just tell me the lot size.
20 feet by,
Yeah, that's the center, the smallest, that's the center units. Probably,
That's what I was
15.
looking for, I don't,
No, because it's different.
20 by 20, well, it's called something, yeah. I know the golden curve, but
Yeah, the curve would be bigger because it's right up the pie, so.
I would say just a standard
Yes,
lot,
yes,
and
that's-
20 foot by 92 or 95.
okay, thank you.
So the key is don't get the center house.
No, they're a discount for the center house, huh?
Well, you can say that, or you can say the end ones are more expensive.
That's
Pay
right.
a premium for it, so.
That'll be what happens, right? The end one
No,
will be-
Nate can speak to that, but I assume they'd be a premium for,
Yeah, because you bring, people in, different needs, different budgets and, but it is nice, they're all free in the buildings, so, with that being said, there are, I think it's 13, there's only 13 center units and 26 outside units. Another thing to add with the HOA restrictions and deed restrictions, there's also, one question that hasn't been asked, and I didn't think to say it, people ask, well, how do I get to my backyard? How do I, there are easements to allow people, to access.
In between the buildings?
Yeah, utilities and such, sometimes it's built into the plat, sometimes it's built into the deed restrictions on the HOA declaration, just depending on what the, city likes.
and again, as Nate had said earlier, deed restrictions, so there's not fences, so you're not gonna wind up with a bunch of,
Right,
fences with little
Okay,
skinny backyards. The idea is it's more of a, hey, you get the view or the benefit of looking on everybody's backyard and kind of say, well, this is my view, I look at this bigger backyard.
I'm just kind of curious, I know there's nothing like this in Barberton now. Has there been a market study done to determine if there is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of that's what we do.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, and not to, tout or, but we don't, most of the communities we've put in are very successful. I have a division manager that runs our, our division, and that's what he does. He does a great job at it, to make sure.
I will also say we are working with Ryan in a community down in Stark County for almost the same type of project. And they're on about the same schedule you are. We just submitted to them a week or two ago. And so again, they are a marketing machine. they don't do something just, we'll take a whim or a flyer. There's good reasoning and backing behind it. And I'm sure they make a few mistakes here and there, but they can adjust and, keep things moving forward. We've had a long relationship with them and been very successful for both of us. And again, whenever they said, yeah, we think we got the right product for this, that's why we partnered up on this and presented it.
I'm glad to hear it because like I say, there isn't anything like this in Barberton, so I would think that there would be a market for a different type of housing than we currently have, so.
And I will add, just from my own family experience, my son and future daughter-in-law, this is exactly the kind of property they bought into. They're in the Baltimore area, but two income family, young professionals, they don't want a yard, they don't want.
It was me 13 years ago when I bought my first house. Me and my wife bought the same, no kids, and then had kids and built a house, 12 years later, so.
Any other questions on the commission or the council?
the only thing I had to say, do you have an age group that, now, Mr. Wayne already said that age group, but, because it is 2 floors, and I don't want 2 floors,
Right.
but I'm not old either. But, so what is that, thank you, Bill. What is that age group that you would be advertising for?
So you'd be amazed, we put projects in all the time, expecting, a specific age group. We don't really, there's no deed restriction only allowing a certain age. what I would expect to be here is exactly as you explained, is, you know, either single, you know, yeah, or maybe recently, yeah, or divorce, something like that, or a lot of professionals, single professionals or married professionals without kids. My own personal situation is we bought something almost identical to this in Medina, 13 years ago, didn't have kids, got our dog, put us off for 5 years, before we had kids, and then started having kids, and then moved up and out later. That's what I would expect, but you're always surprised by, the variety of people, that do end up moving in. But yeah, I would assume most people will probably be between the ages of, 20 and 40 would be my guess.
It's probably safe to say, Nate, it's not necessarily the age group as much as the needs of the buyers.
Correct.
People,
Right, they don't
if
want-
people can afford, 5 acres in the country kind of thing with a big house, that's what, they're after, but that's a small part of the market. These people obviously have certain needs, they want to be here in the city, Barberton, and they, there's gonna be a price point, and, I guess it's not a house for 5 kids.
Right,
but it's-
right. Well, that's what Mr. Wood said with your study, when you did the market study, that's what you're coming up with career-oriented, maybe, younger generation, that type of thing.
That's typically what most townhouse projects all are, unless they're a first floor master type of product, that we actually, I don't currently have any of that in this area for, first floor master, townhomes.
Right.
Did you say there was gonna be a homeowners association for this or not?
Yes, yes.
So the lawns and taking care of the outside will all be done through the association?
Correct.
You got an idea what that fee's gonna be a month?
It won't, given the size, other projects that we've had, it's not been determined yet, but I would guess it will be between $70 and $100 a month.
Does that go into the house payment or is that separate?
That will be separate.
Just, one other question here, I see the height is shown as 22 feet 6 and 11/16, a very specific height. That actually is true for the 3-story? Because that seems like more of a 2-story height.
That sounds like a 2-story, yes.
Yeah, okay, because
Yeah.
normally you have 8-foot ceilings, so.
Right. And then you got
Plus that top floor is only about 4 feet high.
reverse grade.
Okay, do we have, members of the audience that would like to speak, and Melissa, do we have a microphone for that?
Did I understand you to say that?
One moment, please. Let me find out if we have a microphone.
We might be able to have them come up front,
This one?
front and center.
Or they can come here, they can come here.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could first please state your name and address, and then your comment.
Oh, no, they're not.
Gary Barbo, 936 Mesquite Lane.
Thank you.
Did I understand you to say that this will be an association type?
Yes, yeah,
So the association will be kind of controlling how the homeowners keep up their property and that sort of thing?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Please.
Hi, Barbara Hargrove, 936 Mesquite. How close do their backyards back up to the pine trees that are the barrier to the villas? Or not?
Okay,
We
they're,
we can't see this map or this plot
Okay.
back there very well.
if it's okay with the commission, I'll bring it around so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think you asked the property lines. The property line will go all the way to the property line. There's no, we're going all the way to the property line. That's what they will have. However, that trees that are along there, we are not gonna touch those. We want to leave those as is. We're gonna leave those there.
Well, they belong to the villas there. from what I-
Okay.
There's a narrow strip between
Right,
the back
that's
of their lots and our lots.
Right,
The trees sit there, but they've grown so big they overhang both sides. So
exactly.
the goal is to leave the trees alone.
And then there's the strip that the, Villas Association cut, they mow, next to the pine trees.
On our side,
Yes,
that's probably beyond your property at this point.
okay. Now, where does, now that's their backyard then, we'll start there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I walk over there and just kind of?
Yes, please. I'll let you make the rounds before I see if there's any more questions.
Sorry, here we go that way then. You guys can stay separate, I'll come.
Typically, this is red.
If there's specific questions, maybe I can share with you guys down. I don't know if you guys have specific
Trees
questions.
are probably way over the property line.
Yeah.
We're telling you, you're not gonna do any building, you're not gonna go, hey, that's our parking lot.
Typically, trees at all.
I
I don't know that it's necessary.
Whatever you're looking at now.
It's in terms of a-
I've seen.
This is the road, so there's front, this would be the back. Your backyard, your front.
You don't have to. You guys are comfortable with you guys recording. I think it'd be good to.
That's what the question I asked. Our streets are, the city, they're wider, they're compared to. Enough room to park on one side.
We've all seen.
Part of us, that's what they-
Right.
No, that is just a building setback. Either, backyards are probably.
We don't want those to go, but
The road is probably another 12, so you're probably 60 something.
Unless you.
When you just start looking at what that space is there, I guess the front's kind of look about the same.
is this,
Obviously, these backyards are
she's curious about color schemes.
Take a lot of things into consideration, trees, I guess. Yeah, just like you guys.
You want to-
Well, every side is. I will caution you a little bit with aerial pictures, either take my satellite miles up in the sky, I believe that's what John, the engineer, the surveyor also, he said you're probably mowing on this.
So, yeah.
He believes these trees are grown.
Yeah, they grow from the line.
Yeah, or if you were the first one, they would start with that color.
Yeah, big, good size pines.
Yeah, it's not, back in the seventies and eighties. Everything was the same, it's nuts. We have to, there is variety, but it's still, he's still, yeah, so.
Right now, it's 30 minutes. So put that number over, so we're going. Some kind of rating in there.
I'm sorry, do you folks have anyone? This is not on the meeting. Any other comments, questions for us? This gentleman's gonna stick around afterwards if you want. Okay?
I really do a couple there that most of them are. I'm
sorry.
They will take that into consideration.
You think it's okay if I was on someone else's So, planning commission and everyone,
Well, yeah, agree with all.
Tina and Bill, go past.
Okay, we're gonna restart.
I just wondered, I checked with the attendees and they said that there's questions.
This is long as it's attention-based meeting.
So I just, any more questions from the commission or from staff?
Not so much a question from staff, just want to share with you, whatever the final middle is, we'll go through city service department and planning, zone code, make sure it's in compliance, we do require sidewalks, lighting, things like that, so. But, we work from developers so far, that's very good, provide all that.
Now,
Again, I
the
know it'll come
lighting, are
back.
you talking about street lights?
Street lights,
Street lights along
Okay, well then, hearing no other questions, I'd like to point
Yeah, I can do it. Okay, based on that, I'll move the planning commission respectfully recommends the city council the rezoning request for parcel 01.13686 be approved to RA 16 residential single family attached based on the finding of facts as presented.
We have a motion and a second, I think we'll take a roll call vote on this.
Mr. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes,
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
so the motion carries, we have a quorum and, it's a unanimous vote, so the 3 votes carry the missing members' votes. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the presentation. You don't need to stay for the rest of the meeting unless you really want to see that over the next 40. Ready to however you need it.
I don't mind, that's not.
I will say, Stacy and Trevor, the report from staff will be appended to the minutes for the next meeting. Rather than writing.
Unless you really want to.
I do not really want to read them, but you really want to.
After I'm done, you do it.
Unless you can do it with a real flare. with
I have that there.
Mr. Gary, make them nice.
Thank you very much.
No, I said make them nice.
Oh, it will be,
Alrighty,
have no fear.
okay.
I'm so out of fun.
So moving on, do we have any old business?
No, but
Okay, miscellaneous discussion, we'll start with the big man.
So thank you. I think we want to have a brief conversation about how rezoning letters go out in the future. I don't know if we should save that for later, but I think there's some concern over, I think some members from the public receiving notice of public rezoning before planning commission members received that notice.
It was, you want to clarify what you were saying?
Well, I was just a little surprised because, actually, our law director put it on Facebook that this was coming up. I was a little surprised that it was disseminated by somebody from the administration, but,
So in order to meet our timeframe, you have to submit it into the Marvin Herald. And then we
Okay.
have to send out the letter 16 days prior because they're starting my returns. That was before we had the second work or anything else ready to go.
okay.
We wanted to make sure we had our deadlines prior to, and it kind of spiraled out of control.
I mean, in this day and age of nothing being secret, I guess there's not much you can do about it regardless.
I guess all I would offer is if you, when you're aware that something's coming up, maybe you can just send out a quick email that says, hey guys, here's a heads up for next month.
And we usually do send a copy of the letter that's sent out to the residents to the building department, police, fire, the council person, to let them know that it's coming.
Okay.
I'm sorry, thank you very much for your time. Sure.
Thank you. So it's not a big issue.
Thank you
It
for
hadn't usually happened in the past. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So not a big deal.
So we'll make sure to include planning commission members, just so you guys get word.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah.
The next item for business on my list is, I'm gonna pass out this map of the potential historic district here.
Oh, they forgot it.
They're still here.
He's right behind you.
Thank you.
Sitting here. Oh, that's okay.
I don't know where
So the map I handed out, we had a visit from the State Historic Preservation Office back in September. Planning staff, we walked around with a planning officer and historic preservation officer from the State Historic Preservation Office. David may remember, him and Susan were around that day. So, we filled out a questionnaire and received word back that the city of Barberton is downtown and the surrounding Lake Anna district could potentially qualify as a national, on the list of the national historic places. So we are pursuing, hiring a consultant, bringing a consultant on board to survey roughly about 130 properties in our downtown, and also the residential properties that surround Lake Anna. And this would certify that as a national historic preservation district. Now, there's a couple of grants out there also that we're applying for, as well as some general fund money. But we're seeking this to pursue this path. Ultimately, what this would help us do is, it would help developers build their capital stack so as they could essentially rehab some of the buildings within our downtown. And this is a pursuit that a number of other cities, both in the state of Ohio and nationally, have pursued, just because these historic tax credit projects are becoming so common and popular among many developers. Barberton gave a bonus for it, so we're following this pursuit. It's just, I think it makes a good deal of sense for helping downtown property owners put capital back in the building, make rehab work and do what's right. So that's just an update from our end. I don't know if you have any questions. You can roughly see the perimeter of a consultant would be studying.
I know that I think this subject came up a while back when we were talking about the church or the Faith Gym. And I know that one of the reasons that that was included in there was so that there would be some control over what they did if they wanted to modify the exterior and so on. So I just wondered, would the residents here be under a lot of restrictions about things they could do to their homes if they become part of this district?
Great question. So the onus on the property owners is already in place. The certified local government, the design review standards that we have, it's already on the books. So this designation will not put any more scrutiny or, hinder them with any more
So it
problems.
wouldn't make it more difficult or more expensive for them necessarily to maintain or update the properties.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the CLG, the certified local government, we have already on the books. That's something that's needed also to help receive the tax credits, but luckily that's really the harder part to get approved. Or I should say, there's more scrutiny for the homeowners. And that's already on the books. We're not looking to alter that or change it.
Was there any discussion with any of the residents or businesses in this area?
So we have reached out to the Downtown Merchants Association. I've been mentioning it to property owners if there's a downtown project. But yeah, they'll probably be communicating more about it.
Any more questions? No. These are really two different things, correct? I mean, the downtown historic district and the whole Faith Gym issue was all around parking for Faith Gym. This is an extension, this is a separate overlay at the state level. Is that not true, or am I missing something?
This would be a national designation, yeah. So part of the issue with the Faith Gym, from what I understand, is the zoning, right? It's commercial downtown, which alleviates some of the parking restrictions. That would not be in question here. This is more so just being listed on the National Register of Historic Places. I think the Parks and Tourism is the committee that actually reviews it. So it's at a national level. This would actually go before a board. You'd have some findings for historical significance, essentially.
So the certified local government came from the historic district,
So,
rules,
yeah,
or, but that was only for the downtown.
right, the West House and Second Street are part of the CLT, which is the national, or which is not a national registration, are overlay.
Right.
But Trevor's talking about expanding what we already have in the CLT.
I got you.
To incorporate it within the national registry.
So locally, we would still have to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Cool, thanks.
So that's something, it will be about a year-long process. I think December 3rd is when the nomination will be certified if we pursue this time frame right now by the consultant. So
You said December 3rd?
this next December 3rd, 2021. So
I remember the walkabout, and I'm just curious, at the two upper corners that are like cut back into the Lake Anna block, or to Lake Anna itself. What's there that we didn't want in the district? Do you recall? I'm talking about here and here.
kind of the northwest and northeast corners.
Yeah, I guess one would be this building, wouldn't it?
One would be this building, right?
Okay, and then the
And
other.
then there's some residential structures on the other one, but they may not be those.
Okay,
Was that included the first house in Barberton? Was that right?
Yeah, the first house on Worcester Road in Barberton is, you can see there, it kind of jots out.
yeah, I didn't think you did that just for, White House.
And that will have to be, there will have to be significant research put into each property. I think neither Stacy nor Melissa nor I were here then, but in the 1990s, I think they began pursuing this path, and they never completed it. I think it was a lot of time and money, and, that's why I think we're seeking a consultant now. We just know how arduous a process it would be to try to wrap this up within, the year timeframe that we're shooting for, and it's, something that we're going to have to look to outside help for, so. Luckily, there's some state grants available that will help ease that pain, the burden there with the cost, but it's not too bad as the contract overall that we're looking at cost wise.
Interns stuff at all? Or would that be up to whoever you contract with?
So I think there's probably a level of detail that maybe go beyond that. I can't say with 100% certainty, but certainly there's probably always some legwork that could be done by an intern, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of my salary bracket anyway. Okay, thank you. You don't need anything from us on this, right?
No, just an update.
Thank you.
And the other update I have is the development code. We're continuing to look, nothing's to be done with that yet, but we're continuing to have those conversations about updating or doing a review of our development code. I think we talked about that at the last planning commission meeting as well. So we're still possibly pursuing that avenue, but we haven't concluded anything there.
Okay. Mrs. Clark?
That's me. I don't have a lot of updates for today. We are closing up the 2020 demo season. We have 2 more houses on the books. One is on Prospect Street, one is on West Ford, which you might have seen in Barton Herald. Those books scheduled to be torn down any day. We are working on the bid packet for our 2021 demo program. I'm working with Stormwater, Carolyn Crawford, to work on the FEMA grant, because that's going to be incorporated with our 2021 demo program. I hope to have that out mid-January and do a bid opening beginning of February.
You talking 14th Street?
14th and 15th. They've
So
got-
on 15th too?
Yes. Other than that, we're just getting ready for next meeting. You're gonna have 3 conditional use permits to come before you. One is for a tattoo shop downtown.
Love those.
A conditional use permit for, what is it?
Coparts, which is a
Possible outside storage of
vehicle,
vehicles. And
first
then-
side on Norton Avenue.
And the other one is for a thrift store at the Old West End Hardware.
Oh,
So those public notifications will be coming out to you before too long.
So the outdoor storage of vehicles is not a junkyard?
We just got the application today,
Okay,
so we are reviewing it in-house to determine that
You said Norton Avenue?
on Warren County.
745 Norton.
Was it down by Dairy Queen area or?
Yeah, well, Midwest Rubber Site.
No.
Oh,
Norton has some Barberton area, that's a mess.
Yeah, so the front half is Barberton, the rear half is Norton, so that's something we're gonna have to collaborate with Norton about as well. But that's your update for what's coming up next month.
okay, and
Wasn't that, part of the moratorium, the,
Well, we just
outdoor
got the
storage?
application today, so we're discussing it to classify them as something, so we're still in the very beginning stages, but it's a possibility that those will be coming for you.
Yeah, we'll have to go through, so the way this business works, it's a little bit different than that, open car sales lot, because everything's done online. So when our development code was written, it didn't really account for certain type of uses such as that. So we'll have to make a determination of whether or not it falls in that classification.
Okay, and where was the thrift shop store?
All of us in
Hardware.
And that's not, because we said General Dollar and Family Dollar, we didn't go into that.
It does not go into those.
Huh?
It does not go to that,
Somebody on the show.
but those are the updates that we have, that I
What are we gonna do?
Thank you to David for staying a planning commission member for the next 4 years. Wanted to acknowledge that.
my pleasure.
We'll give you a longevity raise too.
Okay.
Hey, Stacy, just a quick question. I should probably know this, but when they tear down the houses on 14th and 15th, well, for that matter, kind of a generic thing, whenever Butcher or whoever is awarded the contract tears it down, do they restore it to, bring in fill and so on?
they do.
And so by the time he's done, the only thing that might have to be done is plant some grass?
So they do that as well.
Oh, they do that too? Okay, so that's
So at the end-
that's all that can be done then with those properties, right?
Yeah, so if there's a sidewalk there, obviously they remove the curb cut, they put in the curb back in.
Oh.
There is that there, they remove the driveway, everything, they seed it, and they remove all the trees on the lot, if there are trees there.
And as I recall, it's gotta be just left as green space, you can't do anything more with it.
It is, yes.
Does that then fall to the Parks Department to maintain?
See,
So we will own them, so it will be up to city government or city staff to maintain it.
how many, I guess the big question is, what about Slogan Center? Is it staying?
As of right now, it is staying.
So how many on both sides is, we didn't get all the houses here.
No,
We
I
did,
think
so
it's-
right now, we
yeah.
only own two.
Two.
But Carolyn has been working with the property owners to reach out to them to see if they're interested in selling.
And over on 15th, comes on off of that.
So we don't have any on 15th right now. I don't know the number of houses that we're able to reach out to that are in the floodplain. But like I said, we only own two right now. One is down.
About the old C&M church, is that part of this too, or?
No, that's
it's just on-
actually rehabbed.
It's what?
Larry Janko purchased that property
Oh,
and he is, doing some interior work, I believe.
See what's it gonna be, did you say?
He's made a comment before that he likes to buy old churches and restore them. It's a hobby of his. So,
I remember last time it was, wasn't there an agreement with the Catholic that it would stay at church or something like that way back?
I don't know, but that guy came in, he bought it and turned it into Magic City Church or something.
Church, but I thought there was a requirement, of course, now it's the second owner, so.
yeah, that, it was Mr. Dalton or before that.
Yeah, that's right, it was done.
so that's what I have.
And I do have a question, since you brought up Larry Jenko, it just hit me in the head. Up there by Sarvin, he bought a piece of property up there,
Simon,
yet has he any plans, or has he said anything about that parking lot area?
We haven't heard anything on that front, but I know the Barberton Community Development Corporation is working with them as well.
Oh.
I think Scott Wagner led a tour maybe 2 weeks ago of that building. I don't know who that was all with, but I know that absolutely.
Okay. Ms. McFadden,
Right.
We're wrapping up a couple CDBG projects. We have two going on right now with the Barberton Library that are COVID related. And one was audiovisual upgrade to their Spillette room. Due to social distancing, they can't carry on their normal activities, like their in-house activities, like they used to be able to. So now with this audio video upgrade, they can do, virtual projects, which allows, our Barberton residents to continue, their services or their programming with the library. And in addition to that, too, they're getting a new HVAC system to help filter the air for COVID use. So it kind of cleans the air. So both of those projects, I believe, are done by the contractor at this point, and we're just wrapping up the paperwork with them.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so just say what we know. So Sherry has declined to return to planning commission, and to our knowledge, we don't have a replacement name yet.
Not yet. If you guys have any recommendations, feel free to shoot them over our way.
So she is officially off the planning commission?
Yes.
Well,
Beginning of the year.
Beginning January.
as of December 31st.
She talked about it, so I was curious.
Yeah, I know she'd said about a year ago that she wanted to get off, but. Okay.
Did the mayor submit anything for us? It's
Not
his-
that I'm aware of.
Okay, it's his time.
New nominations. Yeah, no, that he wanted us to share that with you, so if you guys had anyone in mind, feel free to share that with us.
I'll say what I said when the person that Sherry replaced left, but I hope that we represent the city a little more diversely than I think we currently do with that placement. So. Okay, upcoming trainings, work sessions. We don't have a work session tonight, upcoming trainings.
No work sessions, there's no trainings that I'm aware of currently, there might be one offered by Ohio OEDA, Ohio Economic Development Association. So we'll send out emails if there's anything on that front. Obviously with COVID, everything going on, a lot of the conferences and whatnot have either been postponed or they're being done virtually. We're limited.
All right. Yes.
I have one thing to say, council voted Monday night, and Mr. Trevor Hunt is on the Barberton Community Foundation Day.
Congratulations.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Very good. I guess in the interest of full disclosure, I'll mention that I applied for and became a friend of the foundation, so that puts me on some of the committees. I guess full committees, I think. I chose grants and economic development because I thought it dovetailed best with what we do here. So I think I'm going to be working with you on economic development and not you on grants, probably. Grants being giving away money, not applying.
Right.
No, he'll take all you get.
Yeah. We have a big development code here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been trying that for what, 15 years?
I got some ideas.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else before we ask for a motion to adjourn? Then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So maybe.
I'll second.
We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry
part of
Christmas.
this, just so you know, Trevor, we normally have to get together, but obviously that's.
Next year, plan on